Fullcourt Attitude, the intro, baby. It's the world's greatest podcast. Fullcourt Attitude, it's going down.
Okay, you heard the voice right, Mr. LeVar Ball introducing the Fullcourt Attitude. Today, with the first time a guest appearance on the show is unbelievable, and the first guest is a banger because he made his way all the way from Slovakia. That was the first session. He went to Georgia to play there in Tiflis, right to Germany, where we met in the second stage. Tigers Tübingen, Würzburg, 2 beautiful years there, and now he's playing for one of the best Euroleague teams out there as well. You might know it for Tony Parker's team, Mr. Zac Seljaas. Welcome to the show. It's so good to have you here.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. Make me feel good to be, back with the German audience, and kind of feels nice to be back with it all. But thank you for having me.
Yeah, I mean, we met us in the past where you were captain at Würzburg, Germany, for the baskets, and I think it was a it was a really funny day because of the stuff happened in this day. We also talked about it in the past episodes about this, because there were like the things like the golf car, but also the car I crashed. I don't know if you have this in mind. But in this we start always with a little bit. It calls like what's really good, and we have a little bit to play here. That's like this.
What's really good?
It's the first section, we give the audience everything that what was really good within the last weeks, within the last months. So speaking of what was really good, I mean, it's been a big transition for you, obviously, switching from the BBL to the first league in France. How was that transition going on? Like, how did the first weeks and months feel in France, arriving?
Yeah, France. It wasn't a huge difference in a living situation. I felt like the move and the transition was actually pretty smooth. Everyone was really nice and very welcoming here. Basketball was very different. I will say that the French league and the BBL are very different styles of basketball. And I wouldn't say one is better than the other, but I don't know. It just maybe a little more fast paced here in France, a little more playing above the rim, fast pace, fast break, where Germany is kind of a little more structure, methodical, you trying to, make plays for your teammate in a sense of just being able to think the game a little bit slower. And so it was just a little bit different of that kind of transition between, BBL to here. But it's been really good. I mean, I've enjoyed it, and I think it's been, a good month. But then, on top of that, you are adding EuroLeague games, and so it's, adapting and trying to figure all that out. And so, yeah, it's still a process. I mean, I'm still trying to figure it all out. I mean, we've played, 13 games already, and it's month 1. So
That's crazy.
There's a lot more to go.
Yeah. You're talking about the fast pace or the faster pace from the league and the more physical part, I would say. For me, it sounds it would be fitting good to you. I mean, you're a physical player, you're fast, you have to jam. Would you say it's then the French league is more fitting to your play style, or is it not that different for you?
Yeah, I would say I'm a pretty adaptable person. I wouldn't say that one fits me more than the other. But I do like a little more physicality. I like to kind of be able to, push around, and especially because I'm never really the fastest player. I'm never really kind of in that spot. So I have to find some sort of strength that's to my advantage. And so I feel like that kind of helps me a little bit. to be able to slow, a lot faster people down and do that stuff. But I'm still figuring it out. Like I said, it's, month one. And so I'm still trying to figure out, where, I'm best at in this league and where I best fit and what my role is and kind of how to, adapt to all that.
What interests me about the move, like you've been the face of Würzburg. I think they tried to come up with an offer to keep you there, and it was kind of hard for them to let you go. And I can just imagine. I mean, we've been there. You've been the man. You've been the captain. You had the nice car with the Fullcourt on it. It was they treated you well, but at the same time, of course, we understand you have to take like the next step in your career. How tough was it to leave Würzburg at this time? And do you still watch and follow the BBL? Because we lost a lot of faces. Like when I look at you, and this is like the problem or one of the challenges the whole BBL has to face. I mean, you went to play Euroleague. All the young Germans, they now play college. Karim Jallow, he now plays for Bologna. Like we lost so many players in the BBL. Are you still following the BBL? And are you aware of that process that you've been a part of?
Yeah, I will say that this move to play in the EuroLeague and have this opportunity, I give a lot of credit to Würzburg. I give a lot of credit to Sasha for his coaching, to Crescio Lawn Care for giving me an opportunity 2 years ago to be able to come to Würzburg. But then also like this move, I hope that Würzburg knows that like they're a big part of it all, like the fans, everything they've done for me. Like I hope they know that like me going and taking this next step is me bringing them along with me, and because I keep a real, I keep my heart there in Würzburg because of all the love that they gave to me and to my family, and so I really appreciate all they did. But I do follow the BBL. I do follow Würzburg still. And I'm really happy with the way that they're starting the season right now. And, they're playing really well. They're a really good team. Watching Davion Mintz kind of take over as, their only returner for that group. And so it's really cool to see. But yeah, the crazy thing is we started playing preseason games here against other French teams, and I'm looking at the other team like, hey, you were just in Germany with me.
Yeah.
Like, where's like everyone's coming over here, and so it is crazy. Like I don't think I really understood how many people were leaving the league until we started our season here and started preseason and the regular season and seeing. A lot of our film, I was like, hey, like, I know him because I played against him for the past 2 years or, whatever it's been. And so, yeah, it's crazy to see, the change that's happened, but I'm very happy for guys, like Karim Jallow, to be able to make that step as well.
Yeah.
And we played them, just a few weeks ago. And so being able to see him after the game and, see how well he's doing. It's really awesome, but I do see that it's tough to be able to keep, someone there in the BBL to kind of, be that consistency, for the league and for an organization there.
Nice. For me, it's interesting how could you compare now? I think it's like you played back there in Würzburg, you play in the Turnhalle. And it was like it's a crazy place, where when the people didn't know, they have to Google it. It's really nice. But how would you compare those games in a place like this with the fans that are like so loud in this tiny spot with where you play now? Are the French fans like other fans in the art they watch and cheer you up in the game, or is it like is it a nice feeling there?
Yeah, it's a good feeling here, but like you said, it's different. I would say there in Würzburg, it was we kind of had to rally with our fans. We had like coming up from different things, battling maybe financial or whatever it was during the time, just to be able to get to where we were playing in Champions League now. It was a lot to do with, the city coming together, the fans coming together, a lot putting into this team to make it to where, we're kind of where, Crescio and Sasha are trying to build the team right now. And so with that, you come to a team that's kind of, like you were saying earlier, a team with Tony Parker kind of, bringing NBA style. He's kind of already has its history of being in the EuroLeague and doing its thing. So it's a little bit different where it's kind of already has that, background. And so it's a little more pressure, I would say, but not like a big pressure, but it's, your fans are there, but they're kind of expecting you to be good. They want you to be good. They expect a lot. But if you're playing good, we can really get them behind us. And, and I love to get the fans involved in games because it's so fun. And so trying to get them involved gets it to be, a really good atmosphere here as well. And, you get a little bit bigger of an arena. And we have a EuroLeague arena as well as, our domestic league games. And so when we get that EuroLeague arena, we kind of get the thing rolling, it can get really, really fun in those types of atmospheres.
Nice.
Yeah, I think this is what you guys are looking for, right? Because EuroLeague, it looks kind of tough. We also heard about as well going through some tough times last year with sponsors. I think they were able to bring everything back. When you look into the whole situation, I mean, you only been there for a couple of months, but how is the overall atmosphere when it comes to the club, the organization, and where they're trying to position themselves now?
Yeah, it's from what I know. I mean, I'm just kind of learning everything, but as of I know, they treat us really, really well.
Yeah.
It's very professional. They do all they can for you to make sure that we feel good every single day. That we are taken care of. That we basically they make sure that our focus is 100% basketball. Mm-hmm. Because we have so many games, we have so much that we got to do, travel, this. They make sure that that goes to that we're ready for those games as much as possible.
Yeah.
And so I think that's really awesome the way that they treat us, and I think that's a big difference between someone who's kind of fighting to get into Champions League and maybe Euro Cup level, whoever those teams may be around Europe, and to a team that's kind of solidified in the EuroLeague. That they have that money, that background. They kind of understand the ins and outs of what it takes to be there. And so to jump into a team like this, it's been really, really cool and really interesting to see, because I kind of came into the fact of how it was in Würzburg, and knowing, okay, I got to take care of this and this on my own so that I'm ready for the game.
Yeah.
Just because maybe we just don't have that finance for that with our organization, and then coming here, that's taken care of. So it's just little things here and there.
Yeah, you said one interesting part. You said they want you to focus 100% on basketball, but sometimes also when I think about the mental part of the game, focusing 100% on your task on basketball is also being able to think of something else or doing something else. Mm-hmm. And us visiting you in Würzburg, I know that playing golf and family is a big part of you getting away from basketball, which is also very important, especially when it comes to the mental part. I assume that with this part of the year and also that amount of games in such a short time, have you been able to touch a golf club since you arrived in France, or is it family to take your head off basketball sometimes? What is it?
Yeah, I mean, I'll always find time to pick up a golf club, and but yeah, like you said, it is very busy.
Yeah.
And during those little times and those little in-between days, it is it is family. Like
Yeah.
family is the biggest thing. Going outside, going to the park and riding, letting the kids ride their bikes around, those types of things. It's kind of what keeps our minds kind of right. Um, but yeah, it's just finding those things in between, finding things that you like. But yeah, you kind of have to really figure that out as you go, because you have a game and then the next day you're on a flight, going to the next game, and so what are you going to do with that time, on your flight? Like, are you going to try to find time to sleep, to rest, to recover, to watch film? Like, you've got to figure something out in that middle time, because it's a quick turnaround. And so you really have to kind of learn what that mental part is going to be and how to kind of dial it in, especially so that, it is a long season and you have to understand, what your priority is and what the main goal for yourself in the season is going to be.
I mean, we have like a little section also here in this podcast since the NBA starts. And there is, for me, the question, do you find a little time spot where you have to check up the NBA? I don't know if you're watching, have you a team like you're rooting for, or is there like no time left for NBA on crazy stuff like there?
Honestly, I have not watched the NBA in maybe 7 years.
Ooh, crazy.
And that's not even saying because I'm a hater. Like, I'm not just saying. I think I'm just lazy in watching the NBA and like finding the time. I have become I love basketball. Like, I am 100%. I mean, 98% basketball and maybe 2% golf. But that 98%, like, I love going online on YouTube. I think I have as many subscriptions to European TV just so I can watch random Euro games. I don't like. I'll watch random, Italian league. I'll even watch some of the old Georgian league, just because I love basketball. But because of being over here, I've just learned to love, the European style of basketball so much.
And it's also the time zone, right? I mean, when you're watching something
Yeah.
live, it's hard to follow something that happens at 2 or 3 or 4 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
But-
So I don't want to take the time to watch the NBA at midnight or watch a rerun or anything like that, because I want to be a part of like the here, the now, the everything that's going on.
So
And I think also, sorry, Max. I think also once you fall in love with, I don't even want to call it real basketball, but the NBA is so much of a circus, a show, and we all know it's great skills. It's mostly like one-on-one basketball, but once you're in the system of European basketball and you're part of the schemes, the X's and O's, and you got to feel how it is to play, I think it's maybe not the higher level of basketball, but it's like, for some people, it's the real basketball, and for some people, it's not. But I think once you're part of that and you have a certain understanding, which you have to have because obviously you're part of it, then you probably more shy away from that, just the flashing lights and the highlights and all that, what the NBA represents.
Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, we have our German listeners here. I think the most of them are watching the NBA. So maybe it's good that you can tell them that they also have to watch German, the BBL and Euroleague and European basketball. I mean, that's the biggest advertised. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's true. Like, being kind of a little dedicated to the European basketball changes, your perspective on a lot of how basketball is and the rules, because there are a lot of different rules, from, college basketball and NBA to European basketball, and understanding those rules and understanding, the different styles and the just the way that European basketball thinks about basketball. Like, knowing that it creates a whole different perspective of it all, and I think it's really cool. But going back to that is I actually do love college basketball a lot. And so I do follow college basketball more than, NBA.
It's starting
for sure.
again next weekend or this week, right? College
Today.
basketball season is
today.
the season is around the corner. I knew it. All right.
Yeah, and so it's really cool. And I think that also has to do with a lot of old ex-European players becoming college coaches. And so you can kind of see this mix, and then you're bringing guys from Europe, like we said earlier. You have guys at Washington. You get to watch Hannes Steinbach play. With these Americans, also having coaches that kind of understand the ins and outs of it all, and so you get to kind of see how that forms together, and it's really, really interesting to see how it pans out, and I think it's really, really cool to watch.
For all the good young Germans, they're now like taking the bag of money instead of playing for the BBL. They say, no, I'm off. Like they play for big college. We have so many young German kids that you played against that are now doing the move and on over there. I think it's nice for their development, but at the same time, of course, like you guys leaving for Euroleague, a lot of young German players are leaving the first league because, of course, education, money is nice, and yeah, it's crazy to see. But for them, I think it's great, and for the NCAA also.
Yeah, why not go?
Yeah.
Okay. So this was our first section where we talk about the good stuff, but we have like a little section. Yeah, I don't know if you have something, but we call it Brother because we have like this sound.
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
Yeah, that's the name of our section because it's like a German meme. I don't know if you know this guy, but
Of course.
Okay, very good. And we have like, did you have the past days or weeks like a brother moment? Do you have in mind and want to share with us, or is there like
it can be food that you tried, some French crazy frog legs or whatever. It can be a situation where you thought, like we come up sometimes with like random stuff where we thought, maybe you have something right off the head, but maybe there's something.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
there was actually just the other day because we played Zalgiris, and we were in Lithuania, and I remember we were sitting at the hotel, and we had our dinner the night before. And usually we have a pretty nice buffet style at the hotels, kind of normal. But I remember I got some thinking it was sweet potato, and I tried it and I was like, this is not sweet potato. And then someone else on my team tried it and he thought it was pumpkin.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And
if it's not sweet potato, it's pumpkin most of the time.
Yeah. But then but then we were trying to decide, and it was neither. Like, we had no idea. And we were asking people around. They didn't, the people working there couldn't tell us what it was.
What?
And so we were, it was just this orange, I don't even know how to describe it. It was the weirdest thing, and it had just no flavor. It was just there.
And you never found out?
You never found out what you ate there? Oh, that's...
And it obviously didn't help us win the game. So,
but another guy like Frenchie Sylvain who played for Bayern Munich, is now playing somewhere else as well.
Mm-hmm. And killing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think that was my moment
your brother
right there for the week.
Max, did you have one that stuck out?
Well, I think the past week it was just good. I had no real brother. Sometimes you have luck and
Go
Paul,
with it.
Paul, have you something? What happened to you?
So my brother is at the same time my what's really good because today I had the last injection in my Achilles. So I'm good and I'm taking steps forward and steps fluently. So now I'm back. So my brother those two little were my what's really good at the same time. So I left that behind.
that's also my what's really good, because Zach, you have to know, Paul and me, we start a little one-on-one series
in Würzburg,
where
when we had to wait for you. We had to wait.
Yeah.
You went into film session and we had 3 hours. We had like free time, and we started for the fun of it, just playing one-on-one. And out of that, like we started it, and right now we always going back and forth. And we started it in Würzburg.
That was the reason, because Paul was so sweaty in the interview.
Okay.
No,
Now you know.
just kidding. Yeah, but this podcast is not only about basketball. So it's all about the culture and something between. So we have like a little game for you. And I think we did it also in Würzburg. We did a little blind ranking. I don't know.
Yeah,
if
we
you
had
have
the
it in mind.
mustache blind ranking.
Where we have like the mustache ranking. But now it's not about mustaches. Now you have like, that's why I asked you at the beginning. It's about childhood TV shows, you know.
Great.
So I hear that you watch a lot of shows with your kids, and that you are like elite expert.
Elite expert is not what I said. That was not.
Do they have like limited screen time, or how are you handling like media with your kids? Because obviously it's like a sensitive topic in a lot of families. Like how do you balance like screen time and watching stuff with them? Like is there a thing? How is it handled? Is it you? Is it your wife? Like how is it monitored?
Yeah, I mean, we don't have it on a lot. It's usually kind of like to wind down for the day. I mean, because they have school all day, and so
okay,
you know, when they get home, it's dinner time, and play with toys and and then as soon as dinner's over, it's kind of like let's unwind and maybe watch a show here.
Is
and
it like
there,
an international school, or how does that part look like for the kids in France?
The kids are in a French school.
Bah, c'est
so
parfait,
they're
hein?
learning.
C'est parfait.
They're learning French. My
Nice.
oldest knows German still, and so we're trying to keep him rolling on German. But now he's learning French, and so
Nice.
they're kind of just like thrown right into the fire, and they're loving it. So they're the real MVPs here.
Oh, nice to hear that. I mean, it's very important that the kids are feeling like good in this new situation. They are like out of their comfort zone. But I think when they have like strong parents that are there for them, and then you have like that's the most important thing in this whole. And then
Max,
nice.
you wanna throw the first TV show in there so Zach
I
can
think-
rank it?
I think I start with a hard one, because
All right.
for me it's a great one. And we start with SpongeBob SquarePants.
Okay. And what am I? Is this 1 through 5?
Yeah,
through 10?
1 to 5.
5.
to 5.
Yeah.
Okay. So SpongeBob. That's tough because
Yeah.
I mean, I would say that I didn't watch SpongeBob a lot, but I loved the SpongeBob SquarePants movie.
Ooh.
And so, like it kind of helps me like in a little bit. So I'd put SpongeBob probably right in the middle at number 3.
Oh, with the benefit of the movie. So I can understand that. I mean, movie.
Yeah. Go on.
The movie was crazy with the road trip and all the memes that happened in this. It was.
Yes.
I love the car. I mean, you are a guy with a nice car in Würzburg, and they have like this little burger car with that. I loved it.
It's the best.
Yeah.
I hope you got a family car as well in Lyon.
Yeah, I mean, it's not as big and flashy, but
couldn't you
it
like
still
take the
fits
car from
family.
Würzburg, like somewhere in the contract? Like, gotta keep the car. Speaking of SpongeBob, and we will talk about some basketball sneakers later on because it's always part of the show as well. Did you own any of the SpongeBob editions? Like when I look back, like Kyrie, I think had the SpongeBob edition, but also the new Joker brand, 361 Degrees, had like a lot of SpongeBob. Did you have any SpongeBobs on your feet?
You know, I never had the SpongeBob, and I don't think I ever wanted it. Them either.
Okay.
Oh, do you not a fan of
Like-
the Kyries back when he was at Nike?
I wasn't a fan of the Kyries actually, and like
Crazy.
it just like I think it was more just the way that I fit in them, because my foot is like super flat and I have like really skinny, feet, and so it just didn't like feel good when I wore Kyries.
Yeah.
So
and
No
that's
SpongeBobs on your feet.
so that's
Those SpongeBobs.
that's the reason why we saw you back then in KD's. Oh, okay,
It was
okay.
KD's back then.
Yeah,
So-
okay, okay.
Let me throw the second one in there because obviously I'm a little bit more old school than Max is, so I'm gonna come up like with the old school TV show as well. So I loved it. I still like show it to my kids a lot. So let me put Tom and Jerry in there, like one of the best combos. You got to know them, like Tom and Jerry.
Yeah, Tom and Jerry. It's an all-time classic. I don't know what else is going to be thrown out there, so I would put it higher than SpongeBob. So I'd put it at number 2 for sure.
Tom and Jerry at 2. Nice.
Nice. Quick and dirty. Then I don't know if you watch this. I mean, there are a huge fan base. Do you watch any Pokemon seasons, or is there like no Pokemon in your house?
I was a no Pokemon house.
Me too.
That wasn't really a big show for us. So I didn't really ever watch Pokemon.
Okay.
So where we put it?
Where we put it?
It just have to be number 5. Has to be the bottom.
Okay, Tom and Jerry on 2, SpongeBob on 3, Pokemon at 5. So that leaves us with 4 and 1, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
And to be honest, Max did a big part of the list.
Yeah.
And I was hoping to have Pokemon so I could throw it in there because obviously looking at all the other things, I never like watched any of those, but maybe it's the other way around. And I think one of them, I think that's more old school like the other was. But let me just throw it in there. Lilo and Stitch. Another combo, but I don't even know if it's cats, dogs, panthers, giraffes, whatever that is. Well, is that 2 animals going on, or please educate me?
You don't know Lilo and Stitch.
Sorry.
Oh.
Wasn't it even a Disney movie, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was a Disney movie for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, and they just came out with the live action one, and it was awesome.
Okay, at least
And
you know it.
my kids loved it.
Ooh.
And my kids love the Lilo and Stitch.
Is it 2 dogs? What is it?
No.
Oh no, it's based in Hawaii, and then a girl in Hawaii, she loses her parents, and so but then an alien comes down and she basically takes it in as like a pet, but it becomes her friend, and then they save the universe.
Yeah. That's
sounds nice.
pretty the story.
Innocent.
Yeah. So where do you rank it?
I would rank it number 1.
Ooh. So it. But do you watch the movie? You watched a lot with.
I watched a movie, but there was a TV show when I was growing up, and I used to watch the TV show as well.
Oh, nice.
Good one, Max.
Nice. So then we have the last one, and I mean you don't have to rank it because the only spot that's open is spot 4.
You ranked it already.
You ranked it already, and you put at the number 4. You put Cosmo and Wanda.
Boy, I have no idea.
Do you know?
Oh, Cosmo.
Do you know them?
Like as in, like the Fairly Odd Parents.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that could have been a little higher for me, but with it at 4 is still good. Like it was a good show. My kids watch it now. I let them watch
But
Yeah,
I think
so
there is like a new version, or they have a different art style. I think like back in the days it was more like comic, and now it's a little bit more 3D. Or do I have it wrong in mind?
I think like as in like newer series or like seasons of it.
Mm,
So yeah, you're probably right. But the ones that I show my kids are the older ones that
nice.
me and my wife used to watch all the time.
Would you say we are missing a big and nice
Yeah.
TV show? What is the
That's the
TV
biggest
show?
question. Like, yeah,
What,
what
what
was
what is your
Yeah.
go-to when you come home and you want to watch like a good cozy show? What is your show to
Like
watch?
a good cozy show, like for me now, or like growing up.
Both. Then we want to know both.
Because like my from being the youngest kid, having older siblings, I didn't watch a lot of cartoons. Um, and so the greatest show that I could watch every single day for the rest of my life is Friends.
Oh,
And
nice?
I could probably quote all of Friends, I like it's my favorite show of all time. But if I were to go cartoon and like kind of growing up, I think one missing is Kim Possible.
whoa! We had it on our extended list,
Yeah.
but we
Yeah,
we are not that sure if you watched it. But Kim Possible, I mean the intro song, it's legendary. It's
yeah,
yeah,
it's great,
yeah.
and that one is one of my oldest son's favorite show right now is Kim Possible
Oh.
because we watch that regularly right now.
Really, really, really nice. Yeah, I love that we talk about also stuff like that because I think it shows a new facet of a person. Because when you only know about you in basketball situations, but now we know that you love Kim Possible, and
Yeah,
uh,
exactly.
nice, nice, nice. Paul, do you want to introduce him in our next chapter, or
The next chapter. Do you
or
do you
do
mean
or do we want to talk a little bit about the sneaker? But because I
now? We thought we were basically looking for topics when it comes to the blind ranking, and we were thinking what we want to come up with, and of course, a lot of what we talk about is sneakers. And looking at you playing now at Lyon, and looking at different pictures, and also visiting you in Würzburg, we saw that you now, obviously your team is the Adidas team and you're sponsored by Adidas, and we see you hooping in the Anthony Edwards 2 recently. So is this something that you discovered, like the Adidas, the Anthony Edwards line? Like, do they hand out the sneakers and you try them on and you decide it was a good fit? Because obviously previously you was hooping with the KDs a lot. What did that situation look like with the Anthony Edwards? Did you try the first one? What is your sneaker game looking like now?
Look, at this point, if it's free, it's me. Like
All right.
I'm kind of at that point. No,
But at the same
like
time, it has to be like comfortable and you have to feel like a certain way to
yeah,
hoop in them,
yeah,
right?
yeah. No, I will say that I love Nike, and I mean that was my college. Like we were sponsored by Nike. I got a lot of Nike stuff. And it was always like Nike's always kind of what you go to when you're like, I don't know, like if I'm like
It's a
it's just
sure shot,
always
basically. Yeah.
yeah, like you always know that like you know what you're gonna get type
Yeah.
of thing. So I actually always have Nikes on. I always have Kobe's that are like ready to go, just in case something happens, type of thing. Because I know what they're gonna do for me. I know how they feel. I know all that. But coming to an Adidas team, I kind of wanted to I wanted to see how Adidas was. I actually fit into Harden's really, really well. Like my foot is all like I basically me and James Harden, like I feel like we have the same foot. Like the way that his shoes fit, always fits me. But it's really weird. The sizing of Adidas is very different.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's kind of trips me up a little bit on like the shoes that I need to get, and I always have to like kind of test them out.
They have these 2/3 in betweens.
Yeah,
They don't
yeah.
have halves. It's,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's really weird, but when I can find, an Adidas shoe and try it on and it fits me like the way I want it to fit, there's actually a few that I'm just like the Edwards 2s. I'm like, man, I really, really like these.
Yeah, we
and
saw you hooping
like,
those.
those were ones that I was like, yeah, like I see what the hype is about these type of thing. And then they also have the Addy Zeros, and those I was like, this is like walking on a cloud because they were so light and then so cushioned
The cushion
at the
is
bottom.
crazy. Yeah.
And so I was like, man, these are so nice too. But then, kind of, I'm not like hating on a lot of things, but I tried like the Dames, and I was like, man, I feel like I'm, running in cement.
Not
Like,
for
I
you.
can't,
Yeah.
like I can't get anywhere, and I'm already not fast enough, so like this isn't helping me in any way. And so there's a lot of like factors I feel like that I have to go through with shoes. I've tried Pumas as well, but the problem with Puma is the traction is gone after 2 practices. And so like that's been really tough for me to like kind of be on that. So, but right now, like I'm a real big fan of Adidas. The shoes that we've gotten as a team, the shoes that I've been able to like go and find on my own, I've been like, pretty pleased with, the Adidas. And like I kind of told you guys last time, like when I was going through like the KDs, is I like consistency. Like I want one where like I know like it's what I practice in, it's what I play in. I don't have to think about it. I just know what I'm gonna get right away. And so if I can find a couple that are what I know kind of the size that is perfect for me. I know all that. Then I'm pretty set with whatever it is. So I'm not too crazy on all the specials,
Fancy
and the
stuff, yeah.
PEs and all
Are you
that
practicing
stuff.
with the same shoes that you wear in game?
Yeah, so I usually have a game shoe and a practice shoe.
Okay.
And it's usually the same shoe.
Same model.
Yeah, just because games and practice are just so different, and I don't want to like be ruining a game shoe in practice and vice versa.
Nice. Have you a shoe from the past that you're not able to get it because it's not in stock or something like that, and you're missing? Like I have a shoe in mind, like it was like I think a KD4. It was like with full length zoom. For me, it was so good with nice traction, shortcut. So it was really nice. I still thinking about this shoe. So have you? But have you like a shoe that you're missing from the past? What you would wear today?
The greatest shoe that I miss and I know is nowhere to be found right now is the old Nike Hyperfuse. Back in 2012, I believe, Russell Westbrook was a big, like those were kind of his signature shoe with Nike. Those were all-time favorite like shoe that I wish I bought stock in and just started buying those in bulk because those were so comfortable and I love those. Another one that I really love too are the Harden 3s.
Yeah.
And I went and found a bunch of those, about like people selling those on eBay in the States and different websites. And I think in my house back home, I have unopened boxes of maybe 6 or 7 of those.
Nice.
That I'm like, I can't lose these.
They have the visible boost in the heel, right?
Yeah,
I think I had the
exactly.
Marvel Iron Man edition. They
Yeah,
came out with
yeah,
the Marvel.
yeah.
They had a red. It was a nice shoe. I remember.
It was a really nice shoe. But I think the Hyperfuse was a little bit like the Hyper Dunk.
Yeah.
It was
Similar.
it was a great line from Nike, and I don't understand why they are not keep going with this line. Maybe because the most player don't want to wear like this high cut shoes. I mean, the trend is going to low cut, but yeah, was a good shoe. Nice.
It was a good one.
Nice. It's always good catching up about sneakers, obviously, because Max and me, we like to go back and forth, try out new sneakers and see what other people wear, especially players like you. I think, Max, this leads us to the last segment, right?
Yeah. Normally at this section, it's Paul's part to talk a little bit about basketball history, because
the old guy talking
because
about how it was back in the day.
I don't have to tell that much, but we have like a little intro for it.
Who y'all talking to, man?
Story.
Check it out. This here goes out.
So
A story to tell.
Yeah, I hope you have like a little story for us that you bring with you to tell the people.
Yeah, I think that was such a broad question for me that I feel like I came up with 10 stories that I could probably
We have
tell,
time.
but-
We have time.
It can be like a funny coincidence that happened. Of course, it's a basketball podcast, but the story doesn't even have to be basketball. It can be really so much. I mean, obviously you experience a lot in your still young career, but you saw a lot of countries. You played for some clubs. Now you play in the Euroleague. I don't know what else is coming, but is there anything that sticks out that maybe not a lot of people know about, or a thing that happened to you where you just look back and smile and say, hey, it was cool that happened, or meeting someone or whatever? I mean, it doesn't have to be, but for me, looking into now where you play, Tony Parker, obviously we talked about him. What interests me is like, was there like a recruiting process? Was he involved? Did you meet him? Was that kind of like special? Is there a story? Or, I mean, we have time. Maybe you come up with something. It's all on you to decide like what you brought, what you thought about.
Yeah, I mean, in that process, no, there was no interaction with Tony or kind of that stuff. It's all kind of between the coach and then everything that he wanted and things in that sense. But man, yeah, I mean, a big thing for me is with my career, I give a lot of thanks to just kind of how I was brought up in college, because every year in college was something different. It was a, like I went to the same school for 4 years, but every year was so different that it was a new school, new coaches, new teammates, new role, new different things. And I remember kind of to my senior year in college, and I don't know if a lot of people know, but me and my wife got married back when I was a sophomore in college. And so basically for 3 years of my basketball career in college or my college career, we were married. And so she was by my side through a lot of, ups and downs. And so she's kind of been with me since day one, which has been awesome. But going into my senior year, it was a brand new head coach, kind of a new role. We didn't really know much about, kind of what we were doing after college as well. And, we kind of got to a point where we're like, hey, I still want to play professional basketball overseas. And I was talking with one of our assistant coaches who kind of had history with playing overseas. And he's like, look, no matter what your career looks like in college, like you're going to have a spot, but you're going to have to basically work for it wherever you go. Like you're just going to have to prove yourself. You're going to have to do this and this. And so I kind of, talked with my wife. Was like, hey, like, let's just make the most of this senior year. Like, let's just go have fun. Whatever my role is, like, let's just embrace it. And so that year, I think, was the most fun I've ever had with teammates, with my wife, and everything that we did. Because whatever happened in basketball happened. Like, it is what it was. But outside of that, it was so fun. Like, we were us and like all my teammates and their wives and their girlfriends. We would go back into our practice facility, and we'd basically go play hide and go seek for hours, and like do like random games, and we'd have game nights, and like we'd play cards and do these things together. That was so fun. And I remember there was even one time, our practice facility was actually next to our arena, but you have to go down the stairs to our arena, and it's dug deep into the mountain. So like it's like a bowl into our arena at BYU. And so we call it the dungeon, and into our locker room we have a little room that's pitch black, and it's kind of like the nap room. Especially when it was between classes and practice and all that stuff. And I remember me and one of my teammates, we knew that the stadium was haunted. Like we knew that it was, so we went out and we're like, we're sleeping in here and we're proving that this place is haunted. And so we slept in there one night, and we didn't find out that it was haunted or not, but it was just crazy things that we did, as this season happened. And I kind of look back at that, and I'm like, taking the outside life of basketball, and then kind of learning from that, and then also coming overseas to now and understanding like there's so much more to the game, and being able to find the fun that is in basketball with your teammates, with your family, with these adventures, because times get super hard, and so you're traveling a lot and doing all those things, and so finding the little fun in things is always the best. And so I love looking back in those times that I had with teammates and doing those things together.
Nice. Two questions come into my head right away. Like, do you think this last year was so special because you all were aware that this was your last year together in that like scenario?
I would say a little bit, because like Max Ugre at that time, he was talking about his retirement. Was he going to get a surgery on his knee and try to play another year? Was he going to retire? Was he going to? And so he was kind of taking it step by step. We kind of knew Hannes was leaving to go to college.
Yeah.
If he didn't, we would have all been mad at him for not going. And then like Lucas Vank at the time, we knew that he had stuff with his wife, to leave, and he wanted to be with her. And so we kind of knew these things as we were going along. And so I don't know if it was more that we knew it was going to happen, so like let's give it our all, or if it was more like there was no pressure.
Yeah.
And so maybe it was a little bit of both, and we were just kind of going out and making the most of every opportunity. And then maybe it was the fact that like whatever happened, and so there was no pressure on us to win or lose. And sometimes those are the hardest teams to play against. Yeah. Are those teams that literally just have no pressure, and if they lose, then whatever happens, but if they win, then they take all that fire and all that energy with them. And so I think that helped us pretty big with this last season with Würzburg and the things that we accomplished.
Second thing would be like, are you still in touch from guys from BYU or Würzburg, like to this day? You keep like in touch on a regular basis? Still someone who sticks out?
Yeah. When I was my first year in Würzburg, so 2 years ago, me and Javon Bess, we got really, really close. And then I was also really close with Otis Livingston. Mm-hmm. And so we us three, we still have kind of like our own. Yeah, I mean, with 3 people, do you call it a group chat? But
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
is. It is.
yeah, but like we still like talk and like kind of like talk about things here and there. So we're still in contact, but I would say I got close with a lot of guys. Owen Klassen, being with him for 2 years, and his wife and kid being able to kind of bond with my family as well, and so we had a lot going on together. But then going back to college, we still have a group message that is pretty active with everyone in that, and
Nice.
and so there's maybe 14 of us on that team, and I think we all still talk, and we all still try to get together and do those things that we kind of miss from those days. And the fun part is, at that time, is by my senior year, out of the 14 players, 9 of us were married, which is unusual for a college basketball
Yeah.
team, but for BYU, it kind of makes sense for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And so even those wives still have a group message, and they still
Nice.
talk and do that stuff. And
That's
so
beautiful.
it was a really big bond that we had together, and it was really, really fun. And so those times were times to remember. But I would say that I have 2 to 3 people that I'm in contact with from every single team I've played with. My past 5 seasons overseas, and so it's been really cool to keep in contact and see the growth, and see what's happening with people in their lives. And and the team that I was with in Tübingen, they're basically all in Heidelberg right now, and so it's cool to kind of see like my old teammates being Heidelberg and my old teammates being Würzburg, being able to play in the BBL and watch, how they play. And so it's really cool to kind of keep in touch and see everyone and how they're doing.
Nice. I listen out of this that being good with your friends and with your teammates, and especially have a good situation with your family, is like the most important for you. And I think it helps a lot in this, crazy roller coaster that you have, like with playing in different teams and living in different countries, but always have like good people around you. Is that like the most important for you, to have always this in mind, and that you is this like where you looking through?
Yeah, I was, I'm not a very normal person, I would say. Haircut and those things, and that's kind of the way I grew up, was and I was taught a lot from my parents, and with my family, is to just be yourself, to always be yourself, to always do those things. And with that, I think it's not about keeping people around me, but is I always want to be the good person around someone else. And so if I can be that for other people, then maybe the karma of it all is that good people are always around me. Maybe that's true, maybe it's not, maybe I'm just oblivious to it all, but whether that's the case, I try to just be the best person and the most authentic person to whoever I'm around, just because that's how I was raised, and that's how I want to treat people in that sense. And so I want to be able to be the best I can for others, before myself, I guess.
Nice. So, Paul, do you have like a last question or two?
Yeah, in the end, we always try to look into the future somehow, which is, of course, difficult. But is there something in the near future, like maybe it's an away games at one of the crazy arenas in Greece? Maybe it's, I don't know, is it something that we should have an eye on? It's recommendations for the audience that like to listen to us. Like, is there something, maybe it's a nice away game that you're looking for and you can't wait to play there and drop 20 and 10 and get the W for a certain EuroLeague team or against someone. What is it in the future that you're looking for, like within the next weeks?
I will say for all the German fans or Würzburg fans, there is a battle between me and Mike Lewis coming this next weekend.
Ooh.
And so there's a little future game for people. But it's like I don't think I can get over talking about the EuroLeague and how cool it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it is so cool. Because this week we're preparing to fly out to play Fenner and to be out and do that. And I was even telling my wife, looking at the calendar, I was just like, man, like that's just in 2 days. Like we're just like, you just get up and you go and you just do it.
Istanbul, 2 days, game in and out, boom.
Yeah, and you're like, this is so cool. Like, you just don't even think about it. And then all of a sudden, in a couple weeks, we're going to Milan. And then you're just going to play Milan. And there's so many cool things and cool opportunities. And so that is really cool. But I wish I knew off the top of my head. But, the game in Munich is going to be one of my favorites, coming up. And it's not even the fact just to play against Munich, but just to be back in Germany and to be able to go back there and play. And it's just so fun, and it's going to be exciting.
What do you think about their newest assignment, Mr. Dinwiddie? He's coming along, like he's getting there.
He's getting there. I think that's a great pickup. I mean, it's so interesting to see how many guys from the NBA are coming over to the EuroLeague now, and it's like, I don't care where they go. I'm just so excited to be a part of it. I feel so cool to be like, hey, like, yeah, like, you're coming over here, but we get to play against you. We get to like compete with you. We get to do this.
And it's always so interesting to see how can they adapt. How do they? I mean, that's the most interesting thing for us, like fans, to watch. Like, how are they getting along? Like, it's really interesting to see within the next weeks, I think.
Yeah, it's super interesting. And you can look at guys like Lonnie Walker. Last year he came into EuroLeague and we were all expecting basically a dominance from him, and it wasn't even that. And then now him in Maccabi is he's kind of finding that rhythm and understanding the game, and you can kind of see he's adapting into the game, and he's becoming a real threat. And it's someone that if he can even get more comfortable, he's going to be really scary and be a really good player. And so guys need time, and the quicker they can adapt from the NBA, like, you really have to watch out. But it is, like we keep saying, it's a different game, and so you have to adapt to it and understand it and learn about it and be able to be a part of it all, because it's not going to just come right away. Like, you have to really understand it, and I think that's what makes it so fun too. Is it's always a chess match on who's going to be winning that day. Yeah.
Nice. I also got a last question for you, and it's not basketball related. It's like, imagine there is like a big sign and everybody could see it. What would you write at this sign so everybody could read this message? Is there something that you want to spread in the world?
You're bringing out my missionary side of me.
Let's go. We didn't even touch it. Now it's the time.
No.
Yeah. A big thing that we've been talking about, me and my family, and kind of what we talked about, reading the scriptures lately, me and my wife, is service. How can we serve other people? And I think that goes to is we're trying to figure out how we can make a chain reaction of service from people to people. Not only like just us always trying to be good, like nice and friendly to someone else and helping other people, but how can we help someone so that they can help someone, so that those people can help someone? And so if I had a sign, it would be probably to do service. Find someone to serve every single day, and that can be so small, and it can just be holding a door open for someone, and just saying hi or having a smile. I mean, just little things like that. And I think that spreads so much joy and happiness to such a crazy world that we're in right now. And so I think just trying to, provide service to as many people as possible is kind of, where my mind is at right now.
Wow, I love it. And you certainly served us with being the first guest on the show. I mean, we truly thankful. We know the time you have, and it was like 1 hour not being with your family at a nighttime. Probably the kids go to bed like soon, and we know about family time and how big of a family guy you are. So we really appreciate you for your time, your stories, and we hope that you had fun not talking about basketball only, but we talk about like everything left and right, if it's sneakers, if it's cartoons, if it's whatever, the story that you brought from BYU. So really, thank you for being the first guest ever. I think and hope that it won't be the last time that we see each other, possibly live the next time in one of the arenas that you play. We certainly will take the chance and say hello. So yeah, thank you again, and we really wish you like a great playing time within the next few weeks, months. Stay healthy, rock on, and stay as positive and true to yourself how you are. Thank you very much, Zac.
No, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. It's always fun to be a part of.
Cool.
Nice.
Thanks, man.